I got a big video here today for the All-Pro Football 2K franchise, the end of Season 2, the start of Season 3 as we start with the FFL Offseason. Now, last season when I did this, we did it by position. This season, how it's going to be set up is we're going to watch every team make a draft pick, and then once you see the draft pick, then we'll see all the moves that team did. So I can actually accurately say what teams are doing, how teams are changing, and I feel like it's better and easier to tell stories for the league. Now, Season 2 was an absolute success for the Demons as we won the championship game. We fought hard, though, throughout the season. We had some very close games where we won in the last seconds, sometimes even in OT. So, you know, we can try to get better, but as you'll see soon, as we start with seeing the cap numbers for every team, which is how I set up the offseason every year, and when we get into that, you'll see that the Demons are going to be hard-pressed this season to make a better team. And so we're going to start off here with the FFL offseason max cap of 185. It's gone up 10 points, and just like last season, the cap is found by the number. Each player has a number. Generic backups are just 1, and it goes up to, like, gold quarterbacks are 60 points. So hopefully it will show that, you know, if you have awesome talent, you can't just hoard all of it and you have to get rid of it. Mostly that's through free agency. Sometimes they can use trades to help with that as well, but trades are more for teams who don't have talent, who want more talent. Now, this also, the cap number changes with progression as well. So as you see here, the Demons are 234 and the cap is 185. Another team hard pressed is the Heroes. The Bulls are having a hard off season. The Cavalry, the Hounds, the Crusaders, the Sailors, and the Bears are all having hard seasons. And we're going to jump now to the draft. And like I said, every draft pick, you'll see the draft pick, and then we'll see what the team has done in this offseason. And there will be a grade for that offseason as well, not the pick. And as we see the draft board here, we have a lottery system, but the Monarchs won the lottery, and they're the number 1 pick. As you see here as well, you know, these arrows you'll see as well is teams trading up and down, and once we get to that team, you'll see what the trades are. But let's start off with the first pick of the draft, tackle Juwan Green. He is a star-studded left tackle for now the Monarchs. And also, this is one of the best drafts in this whole series. Now, the Juwan Green is, like I said, a star-studded tackle. He really brings a lot more security on the offensive line, which the Monarchs struggled heavily on this past season. They lose star free safety Stephen Cox to free agency, but they do bring in a star pass rusher in Tyson Garrison. He was on the Crusaders. He was one of the only star defensive players the Crusaders had for years, especially because the Crusaders like to have a lot of offensive talent. They pick up Adrian Parsons, who is a pretty good outside linebacker. Charles Chandler is the replacement free safety. They had no trades, and their coach Gene Gray, the team is building, and a former wide receiver, he likes to have an explosive offense, and that's what they had. Quarterback William Fry, he has a strong arm, and they have lost some talent over the last few years, but I really do think this team is gaining, and this is a great offseason. Not a lot of big changes. I'll give them a B+, especially because of their tackle, Juwan Green. I mean, he's going to set up very well at the left or the right tackle, keep William Fry stable, and keep this offense moving. And I think that's very important for the Monarchs, because their offense is really good, and honestly, their defense, they have star pass rushers now, making that pass rush amazing. Next up, The Sacramento Wolves pick up running back Nick Edwards, who won the best running back in the minor leagues here. But we have a weird situation where the Wolves end up trading Edwards, and they pick up in free agency star free safety Stephen Cox. Coming back from retirement, Antonio Franklin, star center. He had broke his neck a couple seasons ago. He retired, but now he's back. And in the trade, they picked up silver D tackle Leon Joseph. So now they have a star silver free safety and a silver D tackle. And they pick up running back Mac Walker, who's a big power back. Now, as the players lost, though, they lost star tight end Thomas Jett, who was most of the receiving talent right there. Running back Jermichael Lyons, who had great receiving yards for a running back. He retired. D-tackle Gerard Langham, and like I said, running back Nick Edwards got traded to the Dragons, as we'll see that as well. Mostly because they don't like to run the ball a lot, but they wanted the best pick, and the Dragons really wanted Edwards, so they made a change there, which was pretty impressive. And their coach is Montana Young. The Wolves are struggling here, but I'll say this is a great offseason for the Sacramento Wolves. I'll give them an A. Next up is outside linebacker J.D. Young going to the Machine. The Machine in a trade have moved up to number 3 after the lottery, but they pick up outside linebacker J.D. Young, who has also been an inside linebacker as well in the minor leagues. But as you'll see here, I mean, J.D. Young, I'm surprised he went number 3. I'd be surprised if he went number 24. There was a lot more better picks here, and next season I really want to get back into maybe showing some of these draft picks, so you guys see, what's up. And so with the Machine here, they lose star quarterback Patrick Anderson. I mean, the last couple years, injuries have really eaten up how good he is, and he's forced to retire. Outside linebacker Adrian Parsons, like we said before, has left. In the trade with the Crusaders to move up to number 3, they trade away middle linebacker Beckett Bradshaw, outside linebacker Daryl Money Lanza, and tackle Tariq Coles. And in return, they get this pick, J.D. Young. They get quarterback, star gold quarterback Kiefer Jeffries from the Crusaders. Their best second wide receiver, Jalen Hickson. They pick up cornerback Ty Palmer, who's been bouncing around. He's been fighting with every coach he's had the last 4 years. They also pick up Jose Stanley from the minors as well. Coach Murray Callaway is a former free safety. He's a defensive maniac, honestly. He's able to come up with some really good defensive schemes, but I think the problem is here, I mean, they're going for it. They traded some of their best linebacker talent. They bring in some young people to fill in those spots, but next, the Detroit Ash pick up outside linebacker Charles Meacham. Meacham probably should have went number 3. I'm very shocked. He led the league in the minors in sacks, and he goes to one of our rivals in the Detroit Ash at pick number 4. I mean, they had a great team already, and they just had a season where they just couldn't win in close games. They lost outside linebacker Cordell Richards, who had a great season. Outside linebacker Bill Vaughn is suspended for the season. They also lost wide receiver / now fullback Travis Walter in free agency you'll see who later on. Players gained: outside linebacker Jaron Edmonds. He's good in zone, kind of, but he's good at pass rushing. So now they run a 4-3, but now 2 of their outside linebackers are pass rushers. They're going to change that. They're going to be more of a blitz heavy, of course, but that's absolutely insane. They have wide receiver Teron Penn, guard Keon Mathis out of free agency. I mean, Coach Miles Claiborne, I mean, he's obviously not going to be in the running to getting fired anytime soon. He's won multiple championships in the last few years. and now he's just like rebuilding this team very quickly. I will say I'm giving this offseason a rating of a B, mostly because they could have got better on offense and they decided not to. And I think with some aging talent, at especially receiver, and not bringing any more star young talent, I think that could hurt them in the future, but we'll have to see. Now we're going to watch the next pick, which is guard Austin Bailey to the Crusaders. The Crusaders moved down, and I think they have one of the best off seasons in the league. Now, yes, do they lose star defensive end Tyson Garrison? Yes. They lost a backup running back they've had for years. They lost their starting quarterback, gold quarterback Kiefer Jeffries, one of the most accurate quarterbacks, one of the fastest wide receivers in Jalen Hickson. But they pick up a under-the-radar defensive end Tyson Pratt from the free agency. He's a home wrecker. Inside linebacker Beckett Bradshaw. Outside linebacker Daryl Money Lanza. They got tackle Tariq Coles. And they got one of the fastest running backs in the league, Jet Williams, from the Bullheads as well. I mean, this team, this has to be one of the best not just offenses, but one of the best off seasons in this league for sure. Coach Kyle Weeman, I mean, he's kind of fallen off. He went from being a defensive-minded head coach to going all offense, and just being like, we can do defense with anybody. Well, now he is getting star players on that defense. He's solidifying his tackle position. Quarterback that he drafted last year is now going to be put up to starter, and he's already looking like one of the best quarterbacks in the league, one of the best young quarterbacks in the league, and that's going to be very interesting to see, and we do face them this season. I mean, the Crusaders, I think, are scary good. And within the next year or two, depending on how things fall, I think they could be a challenger for the championship. Next up, we have the Demons. And after a lot of concern, out of a lot of thought, we decide to go middle linebacker Taquan Yarborough. Now, the thing with these off seasons is all these rookies, even though they are really good, this is one of the best rookies ever to come out of the minor leagues. The thing is we don't see their full potential until the next year, but I can tell you this guy is going to be a MVP type middle linebacker. Now, do we absolutely need a middle linebacker? No, I don't think so. And I kind of disagree with the coach Logan Overstreet. I would have picked offense. Personally, I think there's some aging talent, but we lose star tackle Marvin Ephraim, we lose our starting strong safety Connor Asper, we lose our inside linebacker Stuart Lambert III, we trade away Eddie Cruz to get up to here because we were the last pick in the lottery. We lose Michael Ingram, who was pretty good. We lose our backup quarterback who could anytime step in if our current quarterback would ever get injured. But we pick up cornerback King Javo. We get outside linebacker Chandler Wolf. And in the trade, with moving up, we also get Silver Thomas Brown. And we get wide receiver / running back / possible quarterback Danny Johnson, who can play any position. I mean, I think this team is definitely not better, but it's definitely building to the future, and I think the fact, I would give it a rating of a C+, but still, I think the Demons are setting themselves up for the future, and maybe not right now. Next up, we have pick number 7, the Seattle Sailors pick up wide receiver Bernard McLean. Now, McLean, he's really known for his contested catching ability, using his body. But I don't get this from the Sailors. Just a couple years ago, the Sailors were a championship team. They were always one of the best teams in the league. And they've lost now star edge rusher Jaron Edmonds. They lose a really good, reliable wide receiver in Victor Cal from retiring. They gain Brian Hales out of free agency, and that's it. They don't make any moves. Richie Anders, I mean, he's been a good coach, and he's brought them success, but he's shown that he's not a team builder through the draft, other than their star quarterback. But other than that, I mean, this team is quickly falling apart. I mean, they were one of the best teams just a couple years ago, having golds at almost not every position, but at least on both sides of the ball. They had star-studded players. Next, number 8 is the San Francisco Dragons, and they pick up star cornerback Jawan Fletcher. Fletcher is a big press corner. He can play man. He can play zone. And this team did make a trade with the Wolves. So they pick up Nick Edwards, who was, one of the MVPs of the minors, right? They get Cordell Richards at outside linebacker. They pick up Jonathan Tyson. They pick up Trey Thibodeau because they do lose their star running back, Darren Morris. He's kind of aging out. They got rid of him. They pick up D-tackle Gerard Langham from that trade as well. They did pick up Mac Walker, but then traded him. They lose one of the best defensive players. I know they rebound and get Jawan Fletcher in the draft, but I mean, that trade was really one-sided. I do not understand that trade with the Wolves. I understand they got Nick Edwards, and that's awesome for the future. But this team, I mean, their contract for their quarterback is really weighing them down, and their quarterback is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but they cannot win more than 3 games. I don't know. I feel like they really need to do something here, especially because their team's just getting older. Next up is the Philadelphia Revolution. They pick up guard Shamir Knight, who's a beast of a man in the trenches. They lose star tackle Zach Conrad, who is great for this team last season, but they pick up a guard. That's cool. They pick up tight end Thomas Jett, wide receiver Brendan Medlock, who is fighting with the quarterback in Boston, in Terrence Thomas. But Coach Pop Warren, I don't understand this offseason either. I'll give it a C, honestly. It equals out on the, on the line, but their defense is still, middle of the road. And their offense, their quarterback, Electric Johnson, isn't so electric anymore. He's lost a step, for sure. I know he's getting a little bit older, but, he doesn't have as much zip on the ball. He can't really read defenses as well as he used to. But I also think it's because he doesn't have a lot of time. Next up is the Miami Bullheads. They pick up running back Roman Acosta at number 10. I think this is the worst pick in the draft so far. Acosta, he had one decent season a couple years ago, and he gets picked in the draft. He missed last year due to injury. I know they need a running back, and they gained Damon Pollard from the Bulls, who's a freak of a linebacker / former safety. They pick up a freak running back, Shane Daniels, as well. And I know they changed coaches. Thomas Frazier has gotten them to there, and John Bowman was just free safety for the Heroes last year, and he's going to become the head coach as Frazier steps aside to help Bowman. He's going to become, the assistant head coach, and Bowman will become full head coach here. So I think maybe with the Damon Pollard move, that really helps defense. But this is a very offensive team, especially with quarterback Jackson Thomas, who almost leads the league in rushing and passing every year. But I don't think it's that great of an offseason. Next up is the San Antonio Bears, and I'll start off with a rating of a B. They lose a silver tight end, Tony Stevenson. They lose King Javo, the corner, big press corner. They lose Chandler Wolf. They lose Jonathan Tyson. But they gain middle linebacker Jack Roberts, who's solid replacement. Outside linebacker Jax Miller, solid replacement. Cornerback Glenn Close, solid replacement. Tight end Chris Bell, I think, is a future star tight end. You got tackle Marvin Ephraim from our Demons, goes to the Bears they have one of the best offensive lines in the league. And then their backup quarterback, Evan McFarland, moves to backup running back, so he can actually use his speed. Now, Coach Joseph Jacquez, I mean, he has a good player here in middle linebacker Jacoby Blade to set up in that middle of the field. He's a hard hitter. He is fast to the ball, and I think this is a good rebuilding offseason for this team. Obviously, it's not going to be a quick fix, especially with some solid older talent that they're losing, but I will say that in their division, I think they have a good shot at winning this year, even with all this young talent. And I mean, they have Brandon McWilliams at quarterback, who tends to be more of a gunslinger anymore, but honestly, I can't blame him. Next up is the Pittsburgh Dynasty, as they pick up Kenny Bell at running back, one of the best running backs coming out of the draft here. He's had some injury concerns, but he has been absolutely fantastic in the minors, and he's going to come up to a team who loves to run the ball. Now, they lose tackle Adrian Romero in free agency. Tyrod Terry goes back to the minors. Running back Sherman Hickson retires. They pick up quarterback John Mentalith as the backup quarterback. They're going to go with Damon Brady for this year to start, because he had a hot end of the season last year. They pick up star defensive end edge rusher Rayshawn Kikuanua. His nickname is Kiwi. He was second in sacks last year, and because he was already in the main league before, he could not be drafted. But he falls to a great team in need in the Dynasty. They also have Andre Cleveland at tackle, and they pick up star edge rusher from the Revenge, defensive end David Osborne. So basically, this team has now become insanely good, especially on defense. Now, I would say it's still a C+ rating because they don't fix the offense really at all, but we're still going to have to face them twice a year. Next up is the Brooklyn Bulls, as they pick up free safety Brandon Swan, who's an athletic freak of a safety. And they do lose a good outside linebacker in Traylon Evans. Like I said before, they lost Damon Pollard, who, I mean, he's one of the best linebackers in the league. They do gain Stuart Lambert III, and they pick up from the minors Brandon McKinley. Coach Emil Reyes, I mean, I think the problem I have here is they made some good moves last year, and they had a really good season. They had one of the best comeback seasons of any team, but you do lose some solid talent, and you pick up a really fast free safety. That's all he is. He's big and fast. Maybe a possible outside linebacker move guy if he puts on a couple pounds. But I just don't see where the Bulls are going with this. They don't make a big splash, and even the pick itself isn't that great. Next up is the Heroes. The Houston Heroes pick up free safety Russell Rose, who is a good zone safety. They do lose strong safety Watts Levy into free agency. They lose backup running back Martell Franklin into the minors. They lose star corner Drake Reed, who they got last season. They trade him away to move up. They pick up Kyle Justice in free agency. They pick up Daniel Lindsay from the Hounds in the trade. They pick up quarterback Darius Lane in free agency. They also pick up strong safety Caleb Sisko, who is very underrated, injury prone, but is very good at playing corner or safety. Now, Russell Rose, I just don't think is that good of a player, and I'm kind of shocked that he went this high at number 14. And that's really the only thing that makes this rating go down, is that draft pick, and also not getting another star on defense, other than Kyle Justice. But Kyle Justice can't play press at all. So I don't understand what the Heroes are doing, especially because last season they went so hard in the paint for defense. Next up is another rival in the Ohio Vipers. They pick up wide receiver Zachary Lett, who is one of the best receivers in this draft, and I would say best on average. He's just good at everything. Jack of all trades. But I have to give this a rating an A, which is super scary. You know, the Vipers last year did lose some talent on defense, and they're gaining it right back. So they lost quarterback Gordon Beal, the backup, to free agency. Roland Brown retired at wide receiver. Maurice Townshed retired at D-tackle. So their two starting D-tackles the last 2 years are not on the team. And also they lose Kyle Justice. But who do they gain? Ahmad Rice, who's the best outside linebacker in the league, period. He can rush the passer. He can play zone. He can catch. He can do everything you need, and this defense is going to be scary. They pick up Terrence Mays, who is a good pickup to fill the hole. Cornerback LaMarcus Eccles, who used to be a star corner in this league a few years ago, comes back through the minors and now is scary looking on this defense that can get so much pressure. And don't forget quarterback Cisco Huffman. I mean, usually quarterbacks like this have to get picked in the draft. He didn't play in the league, but because there were so many holes at quarterback this season, because there's so many retirements, he ends up on a team with Bryce O'Connell to back him up. So that's going to be really scary. And next is the Gladiators. One of the worst off seasons this year. Other than they re-signed their star-strong safety Emmanuel Tanner Sr. Thank God, because they have almost no defensive talent. I mean, they lose Denny Parr, who's a solid outside linebacker, to retirement. They pick up Trevor Christensen, who is a good pick. I'm, again, kind of surprised. I mean, there were so many good quarterbacks in this draft and good skill positions, and these teams keep picking these outside linebackers that are just not special. I mean, Christensen had one highlight play, and that was it. But they also gained tight end Tony Stevenson, quarterback Enrique Medina, who has, been dying in the minors, having good seasons. They also pick up running back Michael Woods, who should have been in the draft but was injured badly last season, and it was up in the air to see if he was even going to make it back to play. But they pick him up, and he says he's going to be ready for this season. So I mean, the Gladiators, I mean, I guess it's maybe not the worst, but I would say Quinn Hatchett, I mean, he was on the docket to get cut a couple years ago, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's up again. Next is the Tigers, as they pick up D-tackle CJ Springs, who's the best D-tackle in this draft. I mean, he can pass rush decently, but he can stop the run very, very well. And, they lose their star quarterback, Ryan Humes, who they traded for one last go, and he, takes them to the playoffs, but then retires. Edge Myron Draven, who is a pass rush threat, gets traded. Ryan Chanel, linebacker, retire. Corey Romo, retire. They move wide receiver Deshaun Elliott back to corner, what he used to be. They pick up Leslie Woodley, who's a great zone-covered linebacker, out of free agency. They pick up DN Chad Davis in the trade to move up to pick up CJ Springs, and they also pick up our former strong safety Connor Asper. Coach Rick Tempest had a decent offseason right here. I'll give him a B. With the trade up with the pick, I think is fantastic. They do need more special talent, though, I think. They really do lack that. And maybe with this new young talent, maybe they can make it, to farther in the playoffs, but I just don't see it. Next up is the Hounds. After they move down to number 18, they pick up defensive end Jerome Peterson, who I am surprised has made it this far. He's one of the best pass rushing, one of the best run stuffing defensive ends in the league. He could play D-tackle. He could play defensive end. If you need a oversized edge rusher, he can do it. Now, the Hounds, they had a lot of talent coming from trades and free agency last year and random progression. So they had one of the highest caps in the league. But I have to say this is one of the best off seasons I've seen. Picking up Jerome Peterson. Yes, do they lose strong safety Otto Matthews? Yes, but I don't know how he's a gold. He keeps leading the league in tackles, and he's a really good player. I just don't see how he's gold potential. But they pick up cornerback Drake Reed. They pick up strong safety Max Anderson, who kind of fills the same role that Autumn Matthews did on a cheaper budget. They also use that extra space to pick up guard Frederick Hatchett, who's one of the best guards to ever play the game. They also have Desmond Brown, who's a good power back, and they pick up quarterback Monty Constantine, who is, yes, related to my wide receiver, Christos Constantine. He's a 6'4" to 6'5" quarterback who is very young, very athletic. They call him Flash, and he's going to be the next Jackson Thomas, where he's able to run the ball, pass the ball, I think the offense can be run through a Monty Constantine, but they also have a good starter in Chandler Parsons right now, who had one of the best seasons of his career last season. So I'll have to say this is an A. I mean, this is the perfect offseason for the Hounds. Next up, the New York Guardians pick up halfback Rashad Ward, as he is a athletic freak, one of the fastest running backs in the draft, and he's stepping in for Jeff Moore, and he might actually just be the starter. Now, they do re-sign Nick McCarthy, thank God. He has come down a little bit in recent years, but I mean, he's still former safety, great in zone, hard hitter, can blitz when needed. They pick up a guard, Casey Thomas, who's just big, but Coach Connor Grimm is on the hot seat. I mean, this is not that great of an offseason. I think it's only a C-. It would have been worse if he didn't re-sign McCarthy and he didn't get Rashad Ward. I mean, if any one of those didn't happen, he probably would have been fired. This is one of the worst off seasons I've seen. But also, their team just hasn't been good, and they haven't made any changes in quite a while. So we're going to have to see how that goes this season. Next is the Flight. Denver picks up tackle Ashton Edmonds, who's a great run-blocking tackle. But I'll have to say this is probably the worst offseason. I've said other offseasons the worst. I think this is graded the worst, because they have star running back Oliver Strauss retire. Quarterback Austin Stewart is retiring and becoming the new coach after their famous, very famous old coach is retiring completely, and it's kind of known that Austin Stewart has been kind of coaching the team behind the scenes. They do re-sign cornerback Feo Alsop, who's a great zone coverage corner. They pick up William Anthony from free agency. He's a great power back. They pick up Gordon Beal as a good backup quarterback. But other than the pick, I think that without the pick, losing a Hall of Fame coach and running back, this is the worst. This is the worst, especially because a lot of regression for the team too. I mean, they have one of the lowest caps in the league. Next up is the Las Vegas Lightning, as they pick up wide receiver Abdul Huffman, who is kind of related to Cisco Huffman, but not really. I think they're long cousins or something, probably just marriage, to be honest. But they have known each other the whole entire lives, and Abdul Huffman is one of the fastest players to come out of this in many years, honestly. Number 28, he played a little bit of running back, but he is a great wide receiver. TJ Palmer leaves the defense. Hall of Fame wide receiver Hilton Caskey sadly retires. Quarterback Glenn Riggs retired. In the trade, they lose Chad Davis, but they pick up Myron Draven, who's one of the best pass rushers to ever play the game. They get cornerback Alfred Truman and quarterback Rocket Jones, who's going to pick up the backup spot, who may even start over Jamie Brooks. I mean, Jamie Brooks, he was a draft pick years ago, and he's just not working out. He's getting slightly better, but Mauricio Shepard, it's an okay offseason. But next up, we got the Boston Cavalry, as they lose guard Frederick Hatchett. They lose, sadly, Rashad Gavin into retirement. Brandon Medlock, who I had said that he's been fighting with their star quarterback Terrence Thomas, and strong safety Christopher Snell, who sadly has it says free agency, but I'm pretty sure he retired. I'll have to double check that, but he retired, I think, for sure. I think he originally was in free agency, and then he retired on the new team. But they pick up wide receiver Ace Lightning, who is the second fastest wide receiver in this class, behind Abdul Huffman, but he is quick. They also have strong safety Watts Levy, guard Mitch Dawson, and defensive end Connor Shelton, and they pick up J. Anthony Lockett, who's a great big press corner, and I think this team's going to make it farther this season, especially with the moves they've made. Next up, second to last pick of the draft, we have the Warthogs. I mean, they have one of the biggest losses in Ahmad Rice, but they do pick up running back Deuce Turner, guard Carlton Tucker, all in that great run game. They have tackle Zach Conrad, adding to that great rushing offensive line, and they have outside linebacker Traylon Evans, who can do the zone, do the pass rush, and Denny Mays and his amazing defensive spot with this War Machine Warhogs defense. And don't forget, they also picked up outside linebacker Roman Sutton, who is an okay pass rusher, can't really play zone, but I mean, they're known for their run game. They almost beat us twice using that crazy run game. And for the last pick of the draft, we go to the Revenge, who traded us. We switched spots, and they pick up edge Seth Richard, who I don't understand how he made it. He's one of the best pass rushers to ever come out of the draft, but he's just a straight pass rusher. But I have to say, this is one of the best off seasons this year as well. They lose David Osborne, sadly. They lose Thomas Brown, one of the best press corners in the league. They lose Nate Porter as that leader, that backup leader, you know. But they pick up tackle Adrian Romero. They get Darren Morris, who still has treads on his tires. They got our cornerback, Eddie Cruz. We lost Eddie Cruz, but he also could not play our defense the way we wanted. They get Cameron Pollard at backup quarterback. They get strong safety Otto Matthews to really solidify this defense. Coach Clint Manula's really made some big changes in his second year as head coach. And this Revenge team is looking scary, and we face them this year. They come to our house, but we have to face this crazy team. It's going to be a hard one for sure. And this will finish the draft and pretty much all of the offseason. I mean, some other moves have happened, but I mean, they haven't been super significant. I mean, I think the biggest move in this whole thing is Ahmad Rice going to the Vipers. That is the biggest move, I think, to ever happen to this league. I mean, I understand before they had a star pass rusher in Sanderson and a star defensive tackle, but now they have just... That team is insane, with the best free safety in the league, with one of the best defensive ends in the league, with the best outside linebacker in the league, with a possible great backup quarterback to become a starter, plus a former MVP at quarterback, with really young, great wide receiving talent, I mean, and a good receiving back. I think the Vipers are scary. But this will conclude the offseason. I really appreciate everything that's happened with this past season, and I hope to continue it. I really do love making these videos, making this universe, and I want to try to go a little deeper. I want to try to show the trades, or not the trades, but the draft picks. I want to show more power ranks. I really do enjoy this, having my own little universe, and I enjoy that you guys watch it. You know, I'm not doing it for the views. I'm not doing it for anything but my enjoyment of it. That's why videos don't come out until I think they're great. And I want to try to get better too. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys next time with the first video of Season 3. Peace.